Thanks very much, everyone. GreenKey is changing the way the financial markets communicate. GreenKey is a 2-year voice collaboration startup installed at over 250 brokerage, trading firms, and prop firms. Our CEO is the former global co-head of strategic investments at Goldman. We have a former CFTC commissioner on our board, founder and CEO of DRW, and the former global head of commodities trading at Morgan Stanley. A lot of big names, but who's GreenKey really? Really, we're a bunch of telephony, telecom, web development geeks, also some background in algo trading. And the company got started a few years ago when we looked to enter the OTC markets, and we were frustrated. Everyone said we needed to purchase these $10,000 telephones to communicate and trade with them, and physical T1 lines. We thought that was outrageous, so we founded a company to solve that problem. If you're not familiar with what a trading turret is, I have an example here on my desk. It's a hardware-based appliance, lots of buttons, lots of functionality, and this is largely the way that the sell side communicates right now today. We're looking to replace this with a software-based solution. So you might be thinking, does voice really matter? Isn't all trading going electronic anyway? I don't think so, and hope to convince you in this presentation of the value of voice, continued value for financial institutions. So why does voice matter? I've got a few statistics here. Probably the one that's most interesting is when it comes to Google searches, 10% are now done by voice. Financial markets run on voice conversations. You have clients calling their brokers. When you're negotiating anything that's multiple legs, a complex swap, these trades are happening over the phone. And there's increased mandates for them to be recorded, for firms to understand how they're happening, at what frequency, and basically voice is critical to the financial markets. Zero technology that's been applied to it, and we're looking to change that. Some statistics, 62% of the treasury debt that's traded every day is traded over the phone. And while we've seen a lot of innovation in IM with platforms like Symphony, not much innovation has happened in trader voice. To run a line from Singapore to London might still cost $1,200 a month, and the way that's typically done is a physical line. This is insane, and at GreenKey we're looking to change that. So what I'd like to do is a quick demo of the platform. For anyone who hasn't seen, if we're able to put the camera on, what a hardware turret looks like. So that's what I have on my left here is a hardware turret. This I have over here is basically GreenKey. So you've gone from a $10,000 device to a $100 Android device, and instead of paying $1,200 a month, you're paying maybe $100 a month or less. So basically a demo of the software. What you can see here is what's critical in this particular market. If we can switch back to the screen, what's critical in this particular market to the Chrome desktop here. Just one moment. Is push-to-talk connectivity. That's one of the key things that GreenKey enables. So I'm able to shout once to my entire team, hey guys, can you hear me? Shout back if you got me. Or to individual presenters.
Got you loud and clear, Joe.
Thanks, Tom. Can you make me a market of March crude oil? Got you. So,
sorry, bud.
So basically, one click, push to call, push to talk with a multitude of counterparties. That's why firms traditionally have used these trading turrets. What you can see here, we have the ability, we've built out a network. So we now have over 250 companies on our network that any trader is able to get connected with without having to buy hardware turrets. Of course, we do integrate into the hardware systems as well, but this allows for significant cost savings. Likewise, we have full PSTN capability, so every trader gets a phone number. Now, all their calls are recorded for compliance, or can be recorded, as you see call recording on for compliance purposes. Users can build out a network, so if I want to connect to someone at DRW, that can go through to their connection manager. This is a robust telephony system designed to both improve compliance, improve productivity, and bring cost savings to the firm. So as you can see, this is a voice workspace, can be completely customized and designed for the needs of traders, brokers, but also mid and back office personnel at banks. So that's the platform in an overview. What I'll show here is the administrative portal. One of the things that's interesting, you can see each of these calls was recorded on the server side. This is for under Dodd-Frank. There's certain mandates where recording is required. MiFID II, we're seeing those expand. We recently announced a press release where we're integrating this into the Symphony platform. But what's interesting is you can see both a call recording icon for all of these calls and also a transcript icon. So that's the next thing I want to talk about is transcription, and I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint to do so. Okay, so what GreenKey did, one of our key focuses is once you've taken this out of a static hardware appliance, what are the intelligence that you can put on it? There's a lot of things we're seeing. We're seeing integration with CRM systems. We're seeing integration with terminals, market data providers, announced a partnership with trading technologies. But one of the most interesting is quote and trade capture. So you're a trader, you want to get this information to your risk management system as soon as possible. And under MiFID II, you'll have a requirement to disclose this information in real time. So Google, we usually respect. They have their DNN-based approach is the best in the market. But we saw that a need for a domain-specific transcription engine for financial markets. So when you're transcribing the text, for instance, CME, it doesn't say CAME, right? That it understands what are the key acronyms in the markets. So this is my test case here. Okay, GreenKey bought April 16 crude oil, 439.57, clearing ICE, stop GreenKey. So you might have noticed from doing your own Google Voice searches, it's excellent, it's quite good, but in this case, it falls down. It turns out Ki Baat is the name of actually a very popular Indian radio talk show, so statistically that's more probable, but we know here in our domain it's not. So we're really excited about this. We think it's going to allow for sentiment analysis and really real-time compliance. That's the big win here, is immediately and more quickly knowing when a firm or a trader has done any inappropriate activity or breached any regulations. A further example of transcription, we've built in an error correction process so that out-of-vocabulary words can be identified. I should mention this is a cloud-based model training done on GPUs and based on deep neural networks. So something we've worked on. One of the key elements of any speech recognition system is the quality of the input data. And by working with select partners, we've been able to collect a really good corpus of training data for this purpose. So this is an example of just large vocabulary general purpose transcription. This is what enables real-time compliance, and we're going to see increasingly demanded by regulators. How much money could be saved by real-time transcription? It's like sort of an open question, right? I don't think it's an exaggeration to say hundreds of millions of dollars. You see banks facing multiple billion-dollar fines for market rigging scandals, and we think that some of these fines could have been prevented via more intelligent real-time compliance systems. And we see ourselves as being a data provider, feeding data into those systems. Alone, the phone recording and review process could be significantly sped up. In a number of firms, there's a mandate to listen to a certain percentage of recordings. Once you're able to transcribe this data, that entire workflow can be automated and be much more efficient. And what are the hard numbers? What are we talking about? We're talking about thousands of compliance officers that have been hired, 8,000 at JP Morgan in 2015. We're seeing a trend for personal liability for chief compliance officers, where they're now being personally fined if their firms are out of compliance. And same with at JP Morgan, at Goldman Sachs, its largest headcount increase was in compliance. After that was technology. We see ourselves sitting right at this intersection of compliance and technology for voice in the financial markets or in regulated telephony in financial institutions. One other fact, just came in recently. Consider the fact that at Credit Suisse, just 2 weeks ago, their CEO reported that their Q1 earnings would be disappointing. Why? Because they were surprised by some OTC trading. OTC trading, largely done over the phones. I think there's really, it just goes to show again, still 2016, we don't have a good handle on what exactly traders are doing over the phone and the value of a system like this that surfaces that data in real time for compliance purposes. Other relevant laws, industry initiatives, you've got the Market Abuse Directive going into effect in July in the EU, and then MiFID II in January 2018. So we see these hires and this manpower, while it's all needed and still very valuable, us providing a system which automates this workflow in an innovative way. One of the other things we can demo is an integration we did with trading technologies. So we built a lightweight HTML5 WebRTC-based front end. And what that lets us do is integrate with other trading systems. So if I'm trading the far end of a yield curve, for instance, I'm able to collaborate. Light on the left side here into the next generation trading technologies platform allows for traders to have seamless chat and voice connectivity monitored alongside and inside the same platform as their trading activities. In this case, for instance, a user is able to initiate a ring down to a counterparty at DRW. This will initiate a one-to-one voice conversation via which the counterparty at DRW is able to pick up. Here, for instance, the counterparty has the incoming ring down notification. He or she is able to accept the call and have a live two-person voice conversation over their trading technologies platform. So as you can see, voice is not going to be relegated to desk phones. We see voice moving to mobile, voice moving to a wide range of other applications like CRM applications, like call center, and we think that it's HTML5 presents a very strong integration point and a strong integration story. Another initiative and just general concern at financial institutions is security and multi-factor authentication. So I have here just a small video of our voice biometric two-factor login. So after a username and password,
that I need to record my voice. I'm simply going to speak free text on a natural tone of voice, and this will then be used to log me into the system. I'm able to click login. And as you can see, I've now been fully logged into the application.
so you can see this has a number of applications as well, particularly for security and anti-fraud reasons. You might have heard the story in November 2015, the CIA director, John Brennan's personal email was hacked. How was that done? It was a voice over IP attack. People were impersonating other people over the phone. And this is a technology that allows a bank protection against that form of cyber attack. So in review and summary, GreenKey, we see it as voice as a platform. We're strongly focused on the financial markets. We think that's our edge. Feature-rich digital telephony, collaboration, a wide range of features that we have on the screen there, and really a passion and domain expertise in the financial markets. It's 2016. We said stop waiting for the dial tone. Push-to-talk is an innovative technology, has a wide range of applications. Just being able to push a button and shout to my entire team, as you saw in this demo, usually powerful from a productivity standpoint. And same thing with compliance. We think it's usually powerful to have individually recorded lines, transcribed lines, and that this is going to change voice collaboration in the financial markets for the future and for the better. So thank you very much, and that was GreenKey Technologies.